Hello everyone, let's begin the first class of our Module 5. Now, let's talk about the environmental conditions for growing cannabis. Let's explore the important factors that influence cannabis cultivation. In this lecture, we will learn about 6 factors for cannabis cultivation, and in the next lecture, we will cover the other factors. Light is the single most critical factor in cannabis cultivation, influencing every stage of growth and yield quantity. Cannabis is a photoperiodic plant, meaning its life cycle is heavily dependent on changes in daily light exposure. In general, the cannabis plant needs at least 18 hours of light per day during the vegetative period and at least 12 hours per day during the flowering period. This mimics the sun's natural light cycle during the growing season. Many indoor growers provide 18 to 24 hours of light a day. In cannabis cultivation, a light intensity of 400 to 600 ppfd is required during the vegetative stage, and 600 to 1000 ppfd is needed during the flowering stage. This slide shows the night interruption and day length extension are both effective in keeping plants in their vegetative state. Growth characteristics of cannabis sativa grown with a 12-hour short day, 12-hour day plus 4-hour night interruption lighting is the middle position, and the 16-hour day extension is the light positions. You can compare the size of the plants. Temperatures generally range from 65 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit for growing. During growth, temperature and the humidity must be balanced. Temperatures consistently above 86 degrees Fahrenheit can cause heat stress, airy buds, and terpene evaporation, while temperature below 60 degrees Fahrenheit can slow growth and promote mold. Humidity levels are closely linked to temperature. Warm air holds more moisture than cold air. Proper airflow is essential at all stages to prevent stagnant air and wet spots on leaves. Even if the RH is in the correct range, proper airflow is essential at all stages to prevent stagnant air and wet spots on leaves. Humidity levels are closely linked to temperature. Warm air holds more moisture than cold air. In indoor growing environments, CO2 enrichment can significantly boost plant growth, speed up the life cycle, and increase yields by up to 20 to 30% when combined with high-intensity lighting, temperature, and nutrient levels. In the natural atmosphere, CO2 levels are around 400 ppm, but cannabis can efficiently use much higher concentrations. For maximum growth, growers typically aim for CO2 levels between 1000 and 1500 ppm during the plant's life cycle. But high concentrations of CO2 above 5000 ppm are harmful to humans, so proper ventilation and the use of CO2 monitors with alarms are essential. The first factor affecting the physiology and growth of plant is soil. Soil supports the plant body and provides nutrients and water. Soil is made up of four components: 45% of minerals, 25% of air, and 25% of water each. Finally, 5% of organic matters contained. It includes living and dead plants and animals. Minerals contain mineral particles such as quartz and mica and inorganic nutrients. For example, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. Soil texture refers to the proportion of sand, silt, and clay particles contained in soil. The most ideal soils for growing hemp are loam and sandy loam. Loamy soil is the best soil type suitable for hemp or cannabis cultivation. Loamy soil is a balanced mixture of sand, silt, and clay, well drainage, and moisture retention. Because cannabis develops roots and grows rapidly, so it needs soil that supplies both oxygen and moisture evenly. The second good soil is sandy loam, which is a high sand contents. It's good drainage and easy soil workability, but it loses water and nutrients easily. It needs organic matter or compost to improve fertility. The primary components of a potting soil can be broken down into a few categories. Composted forest, humus, aged forest products. This is the primary organic matter in the mix. It's rich in nutrients and provides a stable, long-lasting structure for the soil. Peat moss is an excellent moisture retainer and helps to improve the soil's structure and aeration. It's often used to keep the mix from becoming too compacted. Perlite is a lightweight, porous volcanic rock. Its purpose is to increase aeration and drainage, preventing the soil from becoming waterlogged and helping to ensure that oxygen can reach the roots. Soils with a pH below 6.0 are considered acidic. If soil is acidic, we can apply lime to adjust the pH, while soils with a pH above 7.0 are considered alkaline. If soil is alkaline, we can add sulfur or iron sulfate to lower pH. Perlite and vermiculite are both common soil additives used in cannabis cultivation, especially in indoor or greenhouse growing systems. Perlite improves aeration and drainage. Watering has a very significant impact on plant growth. So different watering management is required for each growth stage. Young seedlings are very delicate and have small root systems. They require consistent moisture but are highly susceptible to overwatering, which can lead to root rot. It is important to keep the top layer of the soil moist without making it soggy. At the vegetative stage, its water needs increase significantly. A good rule of thumb is to water when the top inch of soil feels dry to the touch. Flowering stage is the most water-intensive stage. As the plant develops dense flowers, its water consumption peaks. Consistent watering is essential, and any drought stress during this period can severely reduce the final yield and quality. However, it's vital to avoid getting the flowers wet, as this can lead to mold and mildew. There are three irrigation methods. Drip irrigation method delivers water directly to the root zone, minimizing waste. Sprinkler irrigation method is suitable for large fields, but less efficient and can increase mold risk. Finally, hand watering method is suitable for small scale or home gardens. Proper irrigation is one of the most critical factors for successful cannabis cultivation. The water needs of a cannabis plant change dramatically throughout its life cycle, and the method of irrigation can significantly impact yield, plant health, and water efficiency. Paying close attention to the plant's leaves and the soil is the best way to determine if your watering schedule needs adjustment. Overwatering is one of the most common issues. On overwatered plants, leaves will appear droopy, limp, and heavy, often with a darker green color. The soil will remain constantly soggy, which suffocates the roots, leading to root rot and nutrient lockout. However, when plants are underwatered, the leaves will also droop, but they will appear thin, brittle, and lifeless. The soil will be visibly dry and crumbly. If caught early, a good watering can quickly revive the plants. Chronic underwatering can lead to stunted growth and the yellowing leaves. All right, everyone. We will continue this topic next class. Thank you. Bye.